Well, if it isn't a podcast listener in this part of town, well, you shouldn't have came here because you're going to be forced to listen to this episode of this podcast. It's called Is This What You Want? And I'm Matt O'Brien.
And I'm Julia Ladkowitz.
And you're in for a roller coaster.
It's going to be a bit of a tilt-a-whirl. It's going to be a scrambler. It's going to be
an upside-down Ferris wheel. Is upside-down Ferris wheel more Canadian than...
No.
I feel like I don't hear about it anymore. Upside down Ferris wheel? It's just Ferris wheel that flips around. It's like a wide zipper.
We saw that. Didn't we see that driving back from something the other day?
We saw... Where were we driving back from? Vegas?
I think so.
And it was just two long arms and like tall enough to be like a skyscraper almost. Like so tall. And on each end of these long arms, it was spinning around. Each end of the long arms was a basket full of two people.
And the basket itself was also whipping around.
And it was spinning around.
A pure fucking nightmare.
It looked like something that if you are fine after it, NASA is waiting for you at the bottom.
Exactly.
And they're like,
I thought it was like
a
a test thing for astronauts.
Yeah. I wonder if they are secretly testing us to be astronauts at county fairs.
Maybe. And the ones who like barf, they're like, hey, come over here. And then they just get rid of us.
Yeah.
Because we can't
barf in space.
Can't barf in space.
You ever see that in Apollo 13 when he barfs and it's like chunks and it flies all over the place?
Oh, yeah.
I remember it vividly for some reason. It has like beef in it. I remember there being like what looked like shredded beef. Like it looks like...
I don't want to talk about this.
Carne
this is
asada.
Gross. Listen, we just started the podcast. Let's not talk about barf and dying in space. Let's talk about what you want, listener. What is that? Well...
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
That's the end of the episode. The episode. I gotta stop fucking up small words.
You have to start. Maybe you should start reading aloud. You should read aloud to me every night.
Hello. This is the novelization of Jaws by Steven Spielberg. Scene.
Please
night,
read me
naked
a chapter
woman,
of Jaws a night.
Swimming in the ocean. A tug at her leg. Could it be her boyfriend? No. His mouth is not that big.
Imagine your mouth was as big as a shark's.
Can you imagine that you're like skinny dipping in the ocean and you're like, oh, it's probably my boyfriend tugging at me with his mouth. And you're like, hold on a second.
Wait a minute. His teeth aren't the size of baseballs. I don't know how big a shark's tooth is.
Probably no, definitely not the size of a baseball. They'd be less scary if they had baseball teeth.
Just big round teeth.
Yeah.
It's just all like molars.
just gumming you from beneath.
Yeah, if sharks just had molars.
Yeah. Do they say the word Jaws in the movie Jaws at all, you think?
Yeah. When they get bitten, they go, oh no, there's some jaws around me.
Oh, geez. Jaws got me. And are we saying that's the name of the shark? The shark's name is Jaws?
I think the shark's name is Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws rule.
Here comes Jaws rule. Here comes Jaws. What? Wait, what does Jaws rule do?
Were you singing Here Comes Santa Claus?
Here comes Jaws rule. Here comes Jaws rule. Up to the busy beach. Who's gonna see him?
What to do with the Jaws rule?
Oh, that's Jaws rule. That's right. Here, keep singing that while I open my drink.
I don't want to keep singing Jaws rule. We'll just say something. I am saying something. Listen, you already opened your drink. Holy hell!
I opened it. Welcome to another episode, everybody, where we talk about things that we hope that you want, and also we talk about our week, and also hopefully aid you in reflecting on your week. It's kind of like a guided meditation.
Sure.
If a guided meditation was a complete waste of time.
First of all, it's not a waste of time. It's a way to relax. You don't have to worry. You're like, oh, I missed that one fact that they were talking about. No, you're just listening. You're having fun. You're having a good time. It's nice.
Speaking of facts, there's a couple things that happened this week that I'm curious about. I started following this Instagram account, and it's this guy that's like, here's the news in 60 seconds. Have you seen this guy?
No.
And he just like reads like news stories. I had to look up a couple to make sure they were real. But there's like some star explosion that happened in space, and it's going to be visible by all of us on Earth.
When?
But scientists don't know when. It's very odd.
So a star exploded, but it's going to take... Doesn't it take like a bajillion years for it to come to us?
Depending on how close it is. So I think that's the whole thing. I think they're like, well, that one's pretty far, so maybe it'll take a while. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. Maybe it's right now.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is that everyone's going to see the sky just kind of whoa, whoa, just a little bit
Kind of like in a 3-body problem.
when the universe winked
Blinks.
at them. It blinked at them. Yeah, it could be like that. People are definitely going to freak out. What I also learned, because I've been reading about supernovas lately, as you do, that if the closest star to us, which is like Proxima Centauri, I think it's called.
Sure.
If that explodes, like it would destroy us.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Like-
why don't we drag it further away?
Drag the star.
Yeah.
Listen, we can barely drag beached whales back into the ocean at this point. Can we?
Drag a star?
I know. I meant to look this up, actually. This is completely sidetracking, but we were watching an episode of Palm Royale last night. And
Spoiler alert,
there
there's
was
a beached
whale. And they're like, ugh, well, we can't do anything about this. And I went to look up, being like, what do you actually do? Do you like dig a ditch and like try to like...
I think, yeah, like what they were saying, you wait till the tide comes up and then try to like... But wait, was it Super Troopers where they're trying to move in a beached whale but it's like rotting and they just fall through it?
What? Yeah, what was that?
Anyway, it seems very difficult to move a beached whale.
Because I was thinking that. I'm like, well, why don't they just get a boat and tie some things to its tail? It's like, well, they're just going to rip the tail off.
Yeah, they're going to rip the fucking
The
whale
whole
in half.
spine will come out of the whale. And then that's the biggest thing with whales when they die on the beach. It's like, well, what do you do with the carcass? You blow it up is what they did a couple times, but then it just caused a big rain of blubber and the seagulls loved it. What was that?
That was the tub. The tub made a noise, and now you know that the tub made a noise.
Wow. Now you know, listener, that sometimes in our place, the tub makes a noise.
But listen, it's Chappy Hour, everybody.
It certainly is. Happiest of all Chappy Hours, the only happy hour dedicated to the worst robot movie of all time that I have seen and Julia has not.
Chappy.
And we like to cheers how terrible it is with a special drink. And today is kind of special in that it's not alcohol. It's we're both cracking some Kirkland coconut waters.
Yeah, we've cracked and chapped some organic coconut water. No sugar added, not from concentrate, from Costco. It's a great find. I feel like in my mid-20s, I was on a real coconut water kick. And then I just sort of stopped.
I was thinking that too. I feel like Big Coconut really drilled it out. Their advertising was very good because part of me was like, oh, this is perfect for hangovers. They were like, it's great for hangovers.
Exactly.
You're going to feel great.
And that was before we would do like emergencies and like liquid IVs and and that was before like kombucha and other fun kind of drinks.
I'll be honest, that was before I would drink water. There was a time where I don't remember drinking lots of water.
You're crazy.
I would drink like pop or juice, and I'd be like, that's enough. And then I'd be like, why does my piss burn? Why am I pissing a neon yellow?
I feel like you met me and I fixed you. I made you drink water.
You got me into water drinking, which is the greatest thing you could have ever done to a person.
Yep.
I think my skin looks better. I was looking in the mirror the other night, and I'm like, I think water has done me good. I think years and years, over a decade of heavy water drinking.
But then again, I literally know people who smoke and drink and have a terrible diet and have like amazing skin and no wrinkles.
Yeah.
So it's like so much of it is genetics, and your mom has really good skin and she smokes. So I think it's just genetics.
Good for you, Mariah.
Good for you, Mariah.
Yeah, the coconut water is good. This is a good one. It doesn't have the. Sometimes coconut water has like a chunky gel.
Yeah,
in it.
it's like here's some jelly and chunk in it.
Yeah, you get it at like a Jamaican restaurant or something, and they're like, "This is the good stuff."
And there's a bunch of added sugar too, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, this isn't good for me.
No, it's and also it's funny the whole coconut trend how it kicked in because it's like, can you believe that coconut water is good for you, whereas humans have been doing it for hundreds of years.
Yeah. I remember going to an all-inclusive in Mexico with my family. It was our first like family vacation, and I was 6 years old, I think. And I remember having like a coconut there with like an actual coconut and like a straw.
Wow.
And I was like, ugh, because the way that they had done it, like
Ew.
there was like coconut shards all in it. So I'm like eating like, you know what I mean? Like it tasted like dirty, weird water.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. And it was also warm.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird thing to do as a kid.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not used to now if I had that, I'd be like, beautiful.
It'd be amazing.
Give me all the dirty chunks.
And I remember my mom buying, I think maybe it's when we came back, but she's like, we're going to buy a coconut and we're going to fucking do this. And then my dad would be hammering it with like a nail and we'd almost die. And then we would try to scoop out the flesh and we're like, well, this wasn't worth it.
How much is a coconut at a grocery store?
I have no idea. I haven't purchased a coconut.
$3 or $4?
As an adult, I've never purchased my own coconut.
Hold on. Alexa, how much is a coconut at a grocery store? Here it comes. Almost. Oh,
typically priced at under $4.
Under $4.
Yeah. You know what? That's a lie. I have purchased a coconut. When we were in Thailand, we got a coconut, like a young coconut. Young coconut drink.
He was wearing
like
a backwards hat and riding a skateboard.
Yeah. Hadn't hit puberty yet.
And he wouldn't listen to us.
But yeah, the young green coconuts, those are good. But then you get those like the brown ones that are like the old coconuts. It's like a lamb versus a mutton.
Yeah, you got to hammer it open. Well, that's why they always have machetes on these tropical scenarios.
But you still have to machete the young ones too.
Yeah. I just want to carry around a machete 24/7. You can do a lot with a machete.
Yeah, like go to jail.
Yeah, you can go to jail. You can trim stuff. You can poke at stuff. You can defend yourself. You can look at yourself in the machete if you want to see if you have any boogers in your nose.
Listen, when there was a coyote roaming our neighborhood, I walked around with a club and stick.
Yeah.
And I already felt weird about that because it's like, oh, who is this blonde lady in a large sun hat and a tiny dog with a club?
Do you think you could club a coyote if it came at you? You think you would you'd club it? You'd club it in the melon?
I club in the melon. I wouldn't stick around to like club it to death or anything. I would just do it to scare it.
A quick clubbing.
It would just be to scare it off. I don't want to hurt the coyote.
Yeah, of course. I mean, well, it would hurt it. I chased it the other day like a maniac.
If a coyote is lunging at me and about to kill me and my dog, yeah, I'm going to club it.
Well, here's the thing. In nature, you got to have the same mentality as that coyote. If the coyote's like, I'm going to kill this woman, you got to be like, well, I am prepared to kill this coyote.
That's the thing. If it's just testing me, then I'll test it back. But
I had many a fantasy when I was walking Shands. I'm like, if a coyote came up, I would like snap its neck and like throw it away. Which there's no way that would ever happen.
I was like, the coyote's going to come up and I'm going to like talk to it. And then the coyote's going to be like so nice and kind. And then the coyote and Chandra are going to become best friends.
Yeah. And then it starts leaving presents for you at the doorstep.
Yeah.
And then it starts going, please don't make your husband snap my neck. And I feel like they do that in movies. I feel like every movie where like a tough guy's getting attacked by a dog. I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger has done it in a few movies where he grabs a wolf's neck and he goes, Kah! And
yeah. Oh, that was snap a wolf's neck.
I know. Little Shange is here. Hi, little Shange.
Little Shange is here, and she's just a sweet little bungo.
She's all messed up this week because of the coyote smells, and I get it. But she's very tough inside. She's very like, well,
that's the thing.
At the windows.
Imagine there's this person that you know is dangerous, and you don't particularly like.
Like a guy with a machete?
Yeah, and they're roaming the neighborhood, and you can smell them.
They're pissing everywhere.
They're pissing everywhere. They're leaving their scent, and you don't know if they're hiding in the bushes and when they're going to come out, and you're so much smaller than them. You'd be like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable.
I'd be all out of sorts too.
She is she's a real homebody. She's a real bedbug, cozy time dog that we've created here. We've created some sort of a walking pillow.
This is your fault. I blame you.
We both did it.
I blame you.
What more did I do?
I keep trying to be like, we should bring her out. We should socialize her. You're like, she's scared.
I don't sound like that. Well, she does. She hates it. Even right now, she's like curled up in her bed. And she's like, even the thought of going somewhere, she's like, oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah, of course what's she supposed to be doing right now? Making a pie? Like, she's a dog.
We got her a game, though. That's an exciting thing that happened this week.
Yeah, we got her this treat game.
Yeah, it's like these sliders in a circle, and you put little treats in the little slots, and then she's got to push her snoot or claw at it, and I feel like her little brain's working. Yeah. She does get frustrated very quickly.
Yeah.
Like, almost, it reminds me of when you play video games.
Wow.
And you're just like, and Shange, like, I was like trying to help her with the sliders, and she like kind of snarled and went, and I could tell, I'm like, this is not at me, this is at the scenario.
Yeah,
she's like,
frustration.
I want to immediately be good at this, and I'm not.
Well, she wants her little treats because we're trying to find other ways to stimulate this little this little animal.
We're trying to
but,
make her smarter. So at first it's this game. with the
Also, I would
sliders.
love a treat puzzle. If you gave me a treat puzzle and I had to like, oh, in this door, I have to figure it out, and there's a little glass of champagne, and over here there's an oyster. And
Well, what if I told you there were treats all over the house this entire time and you just haven't found them?
okay, well, there's just a rotting oyster
You
somewhere.
just take the picture off the wall. There's a dozen oysters and some melted ice. Oh, wow. That's been there for 2 years.
Oh, speaking about oysters, I just saw this reel, and then this guy was sketching, and he's like, take a screenshot for your next tattoo, and he's sketching all these little sketches of oysters, and I honestly think I want an oyster tattoo on my ass.
Really?
It's so cute. It's like little oysters with a little pearl in it, little shell.
Is it realistic looking? 'Cause
It
could look a
is.
bit like a vagina if he
No, I'll
draws it
show
a
you
certain
later.
way. Unless you wanted that.
Should I get an oyster on my vagina lips?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And then
An
the pearl,
oyster on your ass.
The pearl on my clit.
Wait, is there a pearl in the oyster?
Yeah.
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 Is there like a little champagne maybe next to it?
No.
Okay. That's too much.
Or I get an oyster on one butt cheek, glass of champagne on the other.
And then you push them together and they cheers.
Yeah.
You clap your butt cheeks and they cheers. And then it's happy hour.
Oh my
baby.
God. Can you imagine? I got 2 champagne flutes on each butt cheek. And when I clench, they cheers.
Yep. And it's like a fold in Mad Magazine. You
Yeah.
have happy hour written at the top. And when it folds in.
How big and deep do you think my butt crack is?
Or you just have happy hour written down your crack. And so when they spread open before the cheers, it goes happy hour and then it goes clink.
Again, I think I have some sort of mechanical ass.
Yeah.
Just-
Well, you've been doing Pilates and whatnot and working on stuff.
oh boy, it's been a while since I've
what
done
food
Pilates.
would I get on my ass? Like a shawarma plate?
You'd probably get like ground beef or something. That's
Yeah, like a pile of ground beef or something.
just a pile of shit on
Look
your
like
ass.
a pile of shit. No, the first thing that comes to mind is shawarma. What did I have the other day where I'm like, this is the perfect thing? What is the perfect? I do love a smash burger, but what's the matter, Shanj? Do you want to come up here? What are you whining about?
Yeah, get a smash burger on your ass burger.
Yeah, I could do that. I don't want a burger ass though. I do want to get an ass tattoo. Next time we're in Vegas, we should get little ass tattoos.
Why does it have to be Vegas?
'Cause they're cheap.
If I'm gonna get a tattoo, I want it to be done right, and I'm not skimping on money.
Okay. But it's funny to say you got a tattoo in Vegas. It's funnier than like, this great place in LA, I got a tattoo.
Okay, you get yours in Vegas, and I will get mine at a great place in LA.
What if I go to Vegas by myself? What if you find out one day I just disappeared to Vegas for 2 days? What would you do?
I'd be pissed because I want to go.
So I don't know, like, it'd be weird to be there. I wonder what that would feel like to be in Vegas alone.
I wouldn't be mad. Like I would be, of course I'd be mad. I'd be like, well, this is insane. What are you doing? But I wouldn't be like, oh, he's gone off to like fuck some women and
No, it's funny because the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, what would I do in Vegas alone? I'm like, maybe I'd see Penn and Teller. I'd like go to some shows just to be like, I'd go to the Pinball Museum. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Taking a solo trip to Vegas soon.
no,
Maybe
you're
in the
not.
next couple days.
Well, that's just a really nice, warm and fuzzy thought. And hey, maybe we should get into our segment that's called Warm and Fuzzy.
Probably should. What's making me feel warm and fuzzy, you say?
Yeah, what is it, Matt? Is it perhaps a hammock in the backyard?
Yeah, it could be a hammock in the backyard. You've seen me out there using the hammock in the backyard. I have been enjoying the show Fallout, which I'm watching.
Yes.
I do enjoy watching it. It's one of those shows, it all came out at the same time. So technically, a lot of people watched it like in day one. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you got to spread this stuff out, man.
I know. When they give it to you all at once, people don't know how to ration.
Yeah.
I'm like that with some things. I just binge, and then I'm like, well, why?
It reminded me of, because growing up, my dad used to like savor chocolate bars. Like he would like have a bite and then keep the rest of it next to his bed and then over days eat it.
I feel like that's how I eat chocolate bars sometimes.
But I was like, this man's really enjoying this Bounty bar. Like he loved a Bounty bar.
A Bounty bar is hard because I feel like once you bite into it, it gets like stale because
Yeah,
it's like,
you'd think so. But there was always just bits of chocolate bars next to his bed. And I'm like, that's what I'm doing with this, is I'm taking a couple pieces, and then it's nice to know that there's something to go back to there.
Yeah.
And so I have one episode left.
You're not stuffing yourself with Fallout.
I'm not gorging myself. So you're actually going to be out of town this weekend. So tomorrow I'm probably going to get a nice little bottle of red wine and watch my final episode of Fallout. And
How cute.
also, the game, too, they updated it because so many people are playing. The game came out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's old. It's 5-6 years ago. And now since the show came out, millions of people started playing the game again. So now they're updating it and everything. So it's back. It's live, baby. So I'm probably going to do that. And I'm really looking forward to it because I've had a bit of a crumb bum week. I felt a bit crummy. I knew this was coming.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I knew it was coming because things were kind of going well for a while. And then I was like, uh-oh.
It feels a bit like a swirly toilet. Sometimes you're at the top of the swirl and you're like, this is great. Everything's fine. And then you start swirling to the middle and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah. And then you're like,
good.
it's going to settle. The water's going to even out. And
Yeah.
I'll get to the top again.
Next thing you know, you're swirling back to the top again. What really fucked me up the other day is I had one of those like 4 a.m. wake up, your brain is going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Literally my brain being like, well, everything you've done in your life was a mistake and your career is terrible.
Everything.
Everything.
Wife.
My brain went, especially the thing to the right of you. And I went, oh my God, I'm going to Vegas by myself to get my ass pierced. What if I went to Vegas and got my ass pierced?
What does that even mean?
Pierces a shut, never shit again. And then the piercing guy goes, well, you got 3 days to live. You can't take this out.
As if your poo can just smear through the piercing.
Ew. Do people do that?
I don't know.
Put something pierce their anuses a certain way so it like Play-Doh fun sets out of it?
No, I think if you pierce the anus, you got big problems.
Yeah. You don't need to pierce everything, but people probably are piercing that. Piercing Brosnan.
Pearson Airport.
There it is.
In Toronto.
So what I think that's the thing that's making me feel nice is anticipating a nice day off with one of my favorite shows right now, and just me and the dog.
So your warm and fuzzy is me being out of town.
You leaving.
Well, Matt, that is quite warm and fuzzy. And I feel, what was warm and fuzzy for us? Well, we both opened for Randy Feltface, the puppet, this past weekend.
All last weekend. I think maybe that's something to do with it. Because we had such an exciting, busy weekend. And then it's like, well,
yeah, and then Monday
back
hit.
to the mines.
But even over the weekend, and I mean, this is entering That Was Stupid territory, but even over the weekend while I was performing, there was just a bit of a numbness, for me at least. I was feeling a little bit of a funk, and I'm like, I don't know what is. And then, I don't know. It's all, anyway, we're talking about warm and fuzzy stuff right now. So that was warm and fuzzy. And then Monday, I got my hair cut. And I went into the hairdresser and I was like, listen, I was trying to explain what I wanted. I'm like, I want kind of like a shag meets like a butterfly cut meets like.
It's a butterfly cut.
I don't know.
Wings?
I saw it on TikTok. No, it's like a bunch of layers and I'm like kind of like French girl 70s. Anyway, she's like, okay. And then she gave me what I wanted. Yeah, there's something about being at the salon and she's like, do you want some rosé? So I had some rosé. I got my hair cut.
Is that a new thing? Because, or maybe I just don't go to the more expensive places. I never get offered booze at barbers or anything.
No, not at fucking Floyd's because you're not spending money. But when I get like cut and color, like you're spending hundreds of dollars. So yeah, you better give me some cheap rosé. It's not everywhere though. The other place I got my color, I didn't fucking offer me shit. I'm like, ugh.
I do feel like I walked into a barber in Brooklyn, New York. You ever been? And I was looking up haircuts because I did need a haircut, but the haircut was like $80. But I saw that they were like giving guys whiskey, and there was like guys smoking cigars, and it was real dude dungeon.
There's different places. If you go to fucking Supercuts, they're not giving you a Bud Light. I mean, they should.
Yeah. Well, that's like, remember that time in Hollywood when I went to that rather urban barber where it was around the corner from us, and I was the only white guy to walk in there.
Yeah.
and they were all watching Training Day on a big screen TV, and they were like saying the lines word for word.
They were like lip syncing the movie.
And the second I walked in, it was like record scratch. And then I got a haircut there, and he almost buzzed my whole head off. I was like, "Oh, just three's on the side, two's on the side, and then just about an inch off top." He goes, "Okay," and then he goes and like goes high up the back of my head, and I went, "Whoa!" And he was like, "Are you okay, man?" I was like, "Yeah, that's not what I want at all." And they're all laughing at me, and it was just a disaster. I mean, Training Day is a great movie, though.
I think I was the one who convinced you to go there. I'm like, it has great reviews.
Yeah, it was called like Devil's Barber or something, and everything was like devil themed in there. I was like, "Oh, this is very, I don't like this."
Anyway, you
Nice
came back
people,
looking
though.
fine. But yeah, so the Monday that happened, and you came with me because we were going to the Comedy Store after, and then we had a drink with our friend Rebecca, and it was just a nice little, and then we saw our friend Amanda. It was a nice little like West Hollywood evening, and it made me feel warm and fuzzy, and it was the beginning of the end because after that, Tuesday,
Of the end.
yeah, because Tuesday and Wednesday were just
It is nice
awful.
because we don't live in Hollywood now. We did at the time, back a few years ago. So every time we dip into Hollywood, it does feel like kind of exciting and a little treat. Like we're doing it tonight, and we're going to a fun little happy hour, and I'm doing a show at the Soho House. So it's gonna be a nice time. So anytime we like dip into the Comedy Store and like hang out in that area, I'm like, this is exciting.
It is exciting.
And it's nice to know that we get to come back to our little suburban nest.
We love the suburban nest.
nest.
You know what we don't love? When
What?
things are stupid.
Well,
that
that
was
was
stupid.
stupid.
Yeah, you really acted that out. Well, things are stupid. Welcome back to YTV, where things are stupid. You're going to get slimed. Coming up next, Nickelodeon Kids on YTV, which is a different station for some reason. I couldn't think of a cartoon that would be on YTV. Coming up next, 3 hours of Reboot.
Oh yeah, reboot.
Remember Reboot?
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know
cool.
what the
That
hell
was like
going
ahead of its time.
Yeah, we were all like, I remember like the first kid to watch it, they're like, "Have you watched Reboot?" I'm like, "No." And then I remember watching it that afternoon. I was like, "Whoa." Like,
I just remember
couldn't-
because it was all sort of like futuristic,
it was
like
CGI.
Yeah.
It was like polygon, old school CGI, but it still kind of worked, and they were shiny. And it was like, I don't know what.
remember they were all just kind of like gray, purpley, like that sort of like
Yeah.
that color of
I didn't fully understand any of it. I think they lived inside a computer.
yeah.
And somebody was a virus trying to kill all of them.
I was too young to remember.
Yeah. I did watch a lot of dinosaurs growing up. Remember dinosaurs?
Oh yeah,
The puppet one?
I was fucked.
That was crazy. The production of that is insane.
They were insane looking.
Yeah, but they were so well done. The
I
whole
know.
puppeting and everything. Do you remember the last episode of that? Did you ever watch the very last episode?
I don't remember.
It's like historically one of the darkest series finales.
Did they all die?
Yeah.
Oh right.
Literally, the Ice Age comes in, and they're all huddled in their living room, like with blankets, and they're like, "Well, what's going to happen now?" And then the news comes on, and he's like, "Well, this is it. This is the end. The age of dinosaurs is done." And like it's like, and then it
literally,
just ends.
and it's like not just them, like literally everybody on Earth just dies.
Yeah. So I mean, it was the greatest closure as a kid because be like, "Oh, I guess that shows A, not coming back, and B, I don't have to wonder what happened to the characters."
Yeah,
'cause
and I don't have to worry about
everyone died.
dinosaurs coming and killing me.
That's like imagine at the end because there's going to be a last episode of The Simpsons, and I can't imagine how they are going to end that.
Yeah, what if
Are
like
they going to kill all of them?
I know, yeah, what if like Marge, I feel like Marge is finally going to kill Homer or something.
Homer probably will die. They killed off a character this week.
Who?
He was a bar guy that never really said anything. I think his name was Larry. He had like kind of like long spindly hair and like sleepy looking eyes, and he's always at the end of Moe's bar. You know what I think he was? This is the only time I remember this guy is when Mr. Burns is drilling for oil, and there was gas coming in the bar, and those two scientists come in, and they're like, "Wow, there's a high level of gas in here." And then the guy at the end of the bar goes, "Oh," and he falls over.
Oh yeah.
It was that guy.
Oh,
And so this week he died officially.
eventually from the gas that got him.
I don't know. I kind of want to watch the episode, but they're like, yeah, he's dead.
Interesting.
So they're slowly killing off characters. Maud's gone. He's gone.
Didn't Mrs. Krabappel die?
Well, the woman that played her died.
Oh.
I think she's still around though. I think
Okay.
she's still. I don't know.
Well, anyway,
So that's pretty stupid.
that is pretty stupid. But you know what else is really stupid? So that's the thing. This is where my frustrations come in. I've been trying to improve myself, and as we get older, we get injuries from like working out, blah, blah, blah. So I got a mini trampoline because I was reading so much about it, and you're like, it's a low impact way to do cardio, and it's something I can do like every day from the comfort of my own home. It's good for like a somatic release and just like to shake off anxiety, blah,
What's
blah, blah.
somatic?
I don't
Isn't
know.
that a type of bagel? Oh, I'm thinking of simit.
Yeah, a simit is like a Turkish,
It's a Turkish roundy.
yeah.
I like a simit.
Simit and Chai on King Street in Toronto was so good.
Yeah, it was good. I wonder if it's still around.
So I got my little trampoline, and like an idiot, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a little workout. I'm like, let me do this HIIT class. I'm like, it's only 15 minutes, but it's like a HIIT class on a trampoline. And I did it, and it was so intense. And at the end of it, I was like, I feel like I'm going to barf. This was such an intense workout. And I wasn't really thinking of it because as I was doing it, yeah, I was tired, but nothing was like hurting. The next day, and it still hurts, my pelvis area, like my lower sort of, like very low abdomen, right by my hip bones,
Your intestines.
kills.
Yeah.
It feels like the worst period cramps, and I know it's not because I just finished my period. And it's from trampolining, it's so stupid because I got this stupid thing to
Yeah.
do low impact stuff, to not hurt myself. And then, yes, I lesson learned is to start slower and maybe just do 5 minutes of light bouncing to begin with, not just an intense 15-minute HIIT class.
Yeah, you like to go hard when it comes to physical stuff. I think that's a competitiveness of you.
But I wouldn't think, a 15-minute YouTube trampoline thing is going to be like going too hard,
Yeah.
I wanted to
gotta
get a good
ease
sweat
more
on.
into it. Well, that's like, because I've been working out a lot, and I think I have a mild addiction to working out. I've worked out like 4 days in a row, and I'm like, you have to have off days. You can't work out every day. So I'm like, today I'll do an off day. It'll be like a rest day. And I was like, maybe I'll just go to the gym and do a little workout or something. Like, no, you got it, because then I'll just injure myself.
Yeah.
And like, that's the whole thing. They're like, you got to have rest days, because then you're just going to injure yourself. And that's what I did a couple years ago, and I couldn't run for a year.
There you go.
So it's all about rest days. It's all about listening to your body.
And that's the thing. I had rest days, and I did this, and then I'm just like fucked. And then I've had a few rest days because my pelvis is goddamn fucked. But guess what? My arms are fine. But when my pelvis is fucked, I don't want to do anything.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Did I talk about something stupid?
No. Well, you talked about The Simpsons for a second, but I
Yeah.
don't think that was your stupid thing.
I mean, what the hell stupid thing happened?
Oh,
this
wait.
week?
I have something really stupid that I need to share, and it's so annoying.
Yeah,
Can I share it?
please do.
Okay. So I know I've talked about my OnlyFans on this. Also, it's funny because I'll like talk about my OnlyFans in a way, and I'm like, is there anybody who subscribes to my OnlyFans that also listens to my podcast? Our podcast.
Yep.
I wonder. I don't think so. I don't think it's the same.
No, there's probably one. There's probably
Clientele.
one guy being like, I want to hear her voice. I want to go
Also,
hear the
hi,
voice that
if
goes-
you subscribe to my OnlyFans and you're listening to this, hello. And it's not you that I'm talking about. It's the other weird guys.
Other one. So this guy's already weird. I see.
No, you're great. Whoever you are,
You're
I
the
love
best.
you. You're the best. I
As
love
long
you
as
more than
don't
my
talk
husband.
to her or
Just please
message
don't
her.
show me your penis.
Yeah.
Okay, so I posted, I think last week I was saying that I was going to post like me naked, whatever. So I did my version of naked, which is me in that flesh colored bathing suit. It's actually a really good photo. Anyway, I posted it on OnlyFans, ha ha ha. And then this guy messaged me, and the last thing I had said to him was boudoir photo shoot coming soon, which is true. It is. I'm still working on that. This picture was not that. This was just for shits and giggles. And then he writes me and he goes, seriously? That's it? He's like, I could have used that money to buy formula for my kid. Troll.
There's no way that's
I'm like-
real.
So you're telling me instead of buying your kid formula, you opted to pay money to subscribe to my OnlyFans in hopes that you would see some puss or tit.
Yeah, baby crying and dad going, "Sorry, kid, she's naked."
I was like, and
I
also,
gotta
I'm like,
see it.
in what world is that my problem? Also, A, I don't believe it to be fact. B, if I had shown some puss, is your kid all of a sudden not hungry? It was just so stupid.
Depends on how good the puss is.
It was
I'm full.
it was just such a gross thing. And then I blocked him, which I think actually refunds his money because it was like at the beginning of the cycle. I'm like, I don't care. I want this person out of here. And then I wrote a big thing on my OnlyFans, which is probably just going to stop any subscriptions, being like, hello, I'm a comedian. This is a comedy account with the occasional cute photo. There's so much XXX stuff out there if you want it. I ain't it, sis.
Yeah.
Thank you and good night.
Did you say sis?
No.
Oh, that'd be funny. Look at this dog is hugging my foot.
The dog is hugging your foot.
She knows it's dinner time soon, and she's, oh, no, I said the word. Now she's
Oh,
gonna
no.
go
Now she wants it.
fucking-
Matt, what's your stupid thing?
I think that's it. Whatever happened to you right now, that thing that you said is stupid. I can't think of, I mean, so many stupid things happened this week. My brain activating at 4 a.m. to tell me that everything I've done in my career is a mistake. Also, I was thinking, has this been done before? I was thinking of making a dumb video about it. It's just a dumb reel where it's just like I dress up like a brain and then it zooms into my, and then there's like a circle around my head and then it's just like my brain. I can't describe my video. This is why I don't describe
How are you
my
going to
video.
dress up as a brain?
I was going to put like a brain thing on my head or something.
What's a brain thing?
I
You gonna make a
have-
paper mache brain?
Or maybe like CG, some like brain apparatus around me. I was thinking of doing that. Also, has this been done before? Somebody like, you know, the Baron from Dune, the big fat guy,
Yeah.
doing a video of like me trying to appease the algorithm and he's the algorithm. Me being like, oh, here's this video I made. And he's just like, I want to get like a Costco rotisserie chicken. And then just me like fat and just being like, oh, no, it's not good. Like, just like, no. Be like, what the hell? Like, it's original. Come on.
Listen, I can't. I think maybe it'll only really hit with Dune fans
Maybe.
because I can't picture this man.
But
anymore.
is people trying to figure out the algorithm so inside baseball for us? Like, I don't think the average person's trying to do that. Like, I remember talking to my sister about like how we post like stand-up clips
Yeah.
online and how important it is. And she was like, yeah, wow, I didn't realize it was like so much work and like so important to like stand up. I'm like, it's everything right now. Like,
I feel
literally-
like for content creators, yeah, but maybe for the general public, they're gonna be like, "Wait, what? I don't care. Just give me my content. I don't
Yeah,
want to
shut up.
Yeah, shut up and give me my content."
Okay, here's the stupidest thing. I really am taking a stand against reaction videos and reaction guys.
Yeah,
Guys that their whole personality is that they're staring and they play a viral video and then they react and go, oh, roll their eyes like they're there kind of thing. Like there's this guy in this fucking stupid cardigan and glasses and he pretends he's on a construction site and all these like weird construction bloopers that are happening around him. And I'm like, this takes no skill. This takes absolutely no skill. All you're doing is regurgitating videos. Like I've been blocking them. Because they show up my feed, I immediately block. If you're doing reaction, you looking at something, and
it's
then
just like, what's the point? Because like, what are you selling me on other than just like making sort of like a meme account almost?
Yeah.
Like,
And here's the thing: the cardigan guy, he's like an actor, so I think he's just literally trying to get followers to be like, okay, now hire me in acting things,
yeah,
or
yeah.
like, and I
Which
think it's
get.
working.
Yeah.
But the average person, I keep seeing these other accounts pop up that are mimicking this, and they have no skills. There's no skills.
I've seen that forever, or it's just a side by side. It's a person going, literally nodding and pointing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's
What's
like, that's it.
the point? You don't need to do it. You're taking up bandwidth. Please stop. If the aliens are listening, point your lasers at the reaction video people.
Matt.
Laser them.
Oh, speaking of lasers, isn't TikTok, didn't it just get banned?
It did, but they have like 6 months to either sell it to a different American company or it'll get banned and taken out of America. So I think somebody's probably going to buy it. No one's fully understanding it. No one's reading the fine print on what just happened. It's going to be banned if they don't sell it. And they have multiple months to figure it out.
Right.
So
I don't care.
Either way, I'm sick of that app. I never get more than 100 views on it. I post anything on there. I have 106,000 followers, and each video gets like 200 views. So what am I doing?
What are we doing at all? You
It's
know what
pretty
we're
dumb.
doing? We're going to end this podcast and we're going to go to a friggin' happy hour and then go to your show. And then I'm going to go to Seattle tomorrow. I'm in Washington tomorrow. I'm flying into Seattle. And then my first show is in Mount Vernon, Washington at the Lincoln Theater. And then I'm in Bremerton the next day on the Saturday at the Roxy Theater.
I'm performing at the John Wilkes Booth Theater next door. Kablam!
Matt, where can they find you?
Just Matt O'Brien on Instagram. And please buy tickets to our May 8th Netflix is a Joke show at the UCB Theater. The tickets are on sale, and we want to sell it out. It's a great lineup. And you can find any of my shows in my bio on my Instagram. So look there.
Yeah, and you can find me, Julia Comedy, on Instagram. All my links are on my link tree if anyone want to see any shows coming up, etc. And also my OnlyFans is on my link tree too, Julia Comedy on OnlyFans. Sign up, subscribe, so you too can get some behind-the-scenes sexy photos of me. And unless you have a kid to feed, don't subscribe.
Yep. Don't subscribe to OnlyFans if you're trying to feed a kid. That's number one rule. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week. I promise that.
Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want?